Something's brewing behind the scenes, a shift in energy you can almost feel, even from the stands. You'll want to know what's happening, because if this momentum continues to build, it could mark the beginning of a season we'll be talking about for years. So hit that like button now and join me as I tell you all about it. Falcons fans, you're going to want to hear every second of this because what's brewing in Flowery Branch right now could be the start of something very special. The buzz around training camp has been different this year, sharper, louder, and fueled by a belief that this team is finally ready to break through. And at the center of it all is Michael Penix Jr., a quarterback who's not just winning over coaches and teammates, but drawing comparisons to none other than Matthew Stafford. Yes, you heard that right. Some of Raheem Morris's Rams-influenced staff are looking at Penix's arm strength, precision, and vision and seeing shades of Stafford. That's not a comparison you toss around lightly. Penix doesn't have the signature arm angle wizardry just yet, but he's mastering the art of layering throws, controlling ball speed, and keeping a rock-solid base, all signs of a QB who's refining his craft fast. His timing and chemistry with key weapons like Drake London, Kyle Pitts Sr., Bijan Robinson, and Ray McLeod III is already noticeable, though the road won't be without speed bumps, especially with Tampa Bay and Minnesota's aggressive defenses waiting in the first 2 weeks. The protection in front of Penix could be one of Atlanta's most stable foundations in years. The offensive line is practically the same group as last season, with Ryan Newsel stepping in at center after starting 8 games in 2024, alongside stalwarts Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry, and a rapidly improving Matthew Bergeron. That continuity matters. But what's even more intriguing is the unfolding battle for spots in the receiving core behind London and Robinson. Pitts is working alongside wide receivers in drills, clearly determined to rewrite his career story after 4 lukewarm seasons. Darnell Mooney's health for Week 1 is questionable, which could open the door for veterans like McLeod, Spee's second-year man Casey Washington, and even David Sills V, whose journey from a 7th-grade QB recruit at USC to an NFL wideout is one of those underdog stories fans can't help but root for. While Penix is tasked with torching opposing secondaries, the other burning question is how Atlanta plans to bring the heat to rival quarterbacks. That's where GM Terry Fontenot's first-round gamble could pay off in a huge way. Jalen Walker has burst onto the scene with the kind of explosiveness and positional versatility that evokes early career Micah Parsons. His build even has coaches jokingly calling him a teenage mutant ninja turtle, a nickname that says as much about his raw power as it does about his presence on the field. Then there's James Pierce Jr., a talent who might have been a top 10 draft pick if not for concerns about his character. The Falcons have made it a mission to earn his trust and channel his intensity productively. If both rookies hit their stride, Atlanta could be looking at its most dangerous pass rush in years. Add in Brandon Dorlus, who's returned to camp lighter, more focused, and clearly benefiting from the team's player-first approach, and suddenly that long-standing defensive weakness might just become a strength. One of the most pleasant surprises this offseason has been Divine Deablo's rapid rise. Signed from the Raiders to a 2-year, $14 million deal, Deablo has gone from intriguing addition to centerpiece of Jeff Ulbrich's defense. His length, speed, and football IQ are standing out, but it's his instincts that are turning heads. Ulbrich himself has been molding this defense around 2 core principles, versatility and edge. A.J. Terrell is sharpening his zone coverage skills to complement his elite man-to-man play, and physical tone-setters like David Onyemata are giving the group a nastier edge. Pierce, with his fiery personality, is being guided toward channeling that fire in ways that will help the team rather than hurt it. But leadership, true, contagious leadership, might be the real story here. Penix and Jesse Bates are at the heart of it. Bates, the veteran safety who's quickly become the soul of this defense, says he's not taking Penix under his wing because the young QB is already flying solo, owning his QB1 role. Still, there's a mutual understanding between them. They're both the tone setters, one for the offense, one for the defense, and both believe in leading by action, not just talk. In the joint practice against the Titans, Penix dropped a perfect wheel route touchdown to Bijan in 7-on-7s and later launched a 52-yard bomb to Washington in full 11-on-11 drills. Bates, meanwhile, picked off Cam Ward on a play that saw Terrell tip the ball into the air, showing exactly why his alter ego JB3 is feared across the league. And that alter ego is worth talking about. Bates describes JB3 as the warrior version of himself, a total transformation from the soft-spoken family man off the field. On the gridiron, it's me versus everybody, he says, and the results back it up. 4 interceptions and 4 forced fumbles last season, the only player in the NFL to hit those marks. Since joining Atlanta in 2023, Bates is tied for third in both interceptions, 10, and forced fumbles, 7. He's the embodiment of that switch Ulbrich wants the whole defense to have, and he's showing younger teammates exactly how to flip it. With all this momentum, Penix's growing command, rookies with sky-high ceilings, veterans embracing bigger roles, and a defense developing a mean streak, there's a real sense that this year could be different. But what do you think, Falcons fans? Is this the start of a true turnaround, or are we still 1 or 2 pieces away from breaking through? Because here's where it gets even more fascinating. The deeper you look, the more you see a team that's not just improving on paper, but evolving in identity. Michael Penix Jr. isn't just slinging passes in practice, he's embedding himself into the heartbeat of the locker room. This offseason, he's been intentional about building relationships, even away from football. Golf outings with Kyle Pitts aren't just about the swing, they're about trust, timing, and understanding each other on a level that translates directly onto the field. Penix knows that leadership isn't granted with a starting role, it's earned in the quiet, unglamorous moments between games. Jesse Bates has noticed it too. He talks about their bond becoming more intimate, about knowing each other beyond the helmet and pads. That connection matters, because when the season hits and the stakes rise, it's those personal bonds that keep a team unified through adversity. And while both Penix and Bates are reserved by nature, they're proving that you don't have to be the loudest voice to be the most influential presence. On the defensive side, there's an almost palpable hunger to shed the label of being the Falcons' weak link in recent years. You can feel it in Jalen Walker's first step explosion, in James Pierce Jr.'s raw edge-rushing energy, in Divine Deablo's command in the middle of the field. Ulbrich's insistence on versatility is paying off, with players sliding into multiple roles, keeping offenses guessing. And when you add in tone-setters like David Onyemata in the trenches and Terrell expanding his skill set, it's clear this defense isn't just aiming to keep up, they want to dictate the game. What's striking is that this transformation feels organic. It's not built on splashy, desperate moves, but on carefully chosen players and a culture that's pushing them to be the best versions of themselves. Atlanta isn't just stacking talent, they're aligning personalities, leadership styles, and competitive fire in a way that feels different. And if this momentum carries into September, the Falcons might not just surprise opponents, they could redefine how people talk about this franchise entirely. If all these signs hold true, from Penix's rapid growth and Stafford's flashes of brilliance, to Bates's imposing leadership and the rookies who seem poised to make an instant impact, we could be witnessing the foundation of something special in Atlanta. This isn't just enthusiasm, it's a true shift in energy, focus, and identity. Now, I want to hear from you, so leave your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any updates this season. Go Falcons!